guys, this is Dormouse03. Welcome to my walkthrough for Deus Ex Mankind Divided on I Never Asked for This difficulty. We are going to be combining this with the Foxiest of the Hounds achievement and the Pacifist achievement, so we are not going to die, we are not going to kill anybody, and we are not going to be spotted or set off any alarms this entire time. So that's going to be awesome. And just so that you know, I have recorded the whole thing, so even though the videos aren't all going up at once because I have to edit them, they are all coming out as quickly as I can get them edited, guys. So the first thing that you want to do is pick the non-lethal option, just in case. And I picked the stun gun. If you follow this guide, you will not need to use any weapons ever the entire time. You will not need to stun anybody with a stun gun. You will not need to trank anybody with a trank dart. And you definitely won't need to kill anybody because we're doing a pacifist run. So the only thing that I use is an EMP on the final boss. And that is it. You can use a grenade or you can use a mine. But you need to do that in order to be able to take him down. But other than that, I do not use a single piece of weaponry. So you don't necessarily have to follow that rule. You can knock people out. You can stun people. You can trank people if you want to and still get the Pacifist achievement and still get the Foxiest of the Hounds achievement and still get through this difficulty. But the thing that I went for was trying to get through everything cleanly without touching anybody, without alerting anybody, without leaving any trace that I was there whatsoever, except for empty boxes that I looted and, a couple of vents and doors that I left open. So, some rules for this difficulty. The main one is you can't die. And so, dying can happen a lot of ways. It can happen by being shot. It can happen by falling if you don't have the Icarus landing. It can happen by walking into a trap. So a grenade, like a trip mine or something like that. It can happen by getting electrocuted by this trap right here. It can happen by getting poisoned by some traps. So there are some different ways that you can die and fail this thing. But if you follow this and follow my path and follow my upgrades and stuff, you should not ever be in danger of any of those things. And so that is rule number 1. If you ever feel like you are in danger of dying, reload your save. If there's ever any question that you've gotten yourself into a bad situation, reload your save. And that is the biggest piece of advice that I can give you guys. Anytime I got spotted, anytime I messed up a hack like you're seeing right now, I saved before every single hack that I did to make sure that I got it on the first try because I wanted to be certain that there were no alarms set off. I said better safe than sorry and playing the game again. So I saved before every single hack. I saved before every single tricky thing that I was going to do. Anytime that I wasn't 100% sure that nobody saw me or that I didn't do it as cleanly as I wanted to or whatever, I reloaded the save. So, save a lot, save often. You have one save slot, so use it. Other things about this mode. It has a bunch of things turned off, and I thought that was to do with this mode, but I think because I reloaded my last save, I guess my only save, at the final boss and looked at the options so that I wouldn't be telling you a lie. But it has my reticle turned off. It has my destination marker turned off. And it has the thing that puts the outline around items turned off. I thought that was to do with the mode that I'm playing, but it's actually not. You can turn those things back on in your menu, but it's like they're off by default for this mode or something. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why that's default if it's not like you have to do it that way, but just word to the wise. Be wiser than me and turn some of those things back on if you can. So I'm looting a little bit, and you notice that I put that plastic crate over between me and that enemy guy over there who's patrolling. That effectively was a shield between me and him, and I could do a little bit more looting behind there because he couldn't see me behind the crate, which is awesome. So I loot a little bit because, well, I loot a lot more at the beginning because I wanted to get some XP and get some praxis kits quickly, and I wanted to be able to buy some praxis kits from the vendor. And that was only because I wanted to be able to get certain AUGs as early as possible. So you'll see me do that. I'll show you what I do to be able to get credits and to pick up items and to get some XP and stuff like that. But not 100% necessary. I ended up with a bunch more praxis kits than I even needed, because you end up getting lots of XP just by playing through the game. But like I said, I wanted to get as many of them as early as possible because I wasn't 100% sure which upgrades I was going to get at exactly which points when I was doing this. I had a general idea because I had played it through a couple of times, but I just wanted to have as much flexibility as I could and give you guys as much flexibility as I could. So you want to wait for that guy to turn, and then you want to move around here. And so I will start to actually walk you guys through this now that I've kind of gone through a couple of basics there. So let's see. You are going to want to move after you come out of that menu as quickly as possible here, and wait for this guy to turn around and then drop down. You don't have to use the quiet legs there. You just need to move pretty quickly. And stay crouched, though. When this guy moves to your right, you're going to move around behind him, and you're going to keep going forward. Knowledge is also power on this game, so knowing when people are going to do what. So this guy right here, he turns around. So you want to make sure that he turns back around before you move on over to the right. When you climb up the ladder, it takes you out of the crouch, so you want to crouch back down again before you start moving, or else the guy in front of you there will be suspicious. And then these guys in here, we're going here because we want to turn off this signal thing. I forget what it's called. But this is so that you can keep Mr. Singh alive. I don't know that this is necessary to do, but I did it anyway because it's like save this guy. So we're going to save him. I wait for these guys to finish their conversation, and then I'm going to cloak and open the vent and drop down. And then I'm going to hit this really quickly. It's called the signal booster, and we're going to move on. And you notice we got a ghost right there. We did not get smooth operator. I don't know why you don't get smooth operator in this mission. I think it's because there are no alarms. Like these guys, even if they go hostile, they don't set off alarms. And so you end up with the ghost for not making anybody suspicious rather than the smooth operator. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand at sometimes. But if you follow this and you get what I get, then you will be okay. So we're going to cloak. We're going to come over here to this vent, and then you can uncloak after you move through it a little bit to recharge your cloak there. And you can move quickly through this vent. The guy goes through the door and comes out toward you. But as long as you move through there quickly, he will not see you as you drop out of the vent and keep moving forward. And so we're going to come up to I think the trickiest part of this level. Again, make a safety save before you hack this terminal, just in case. This next section I found it to be kind of tricky to consistently get through save sing and not alert anybody or make anybody suspicious. I'm going to show you the way that I found to be most consistent. I did it several ways. I dropped down both drop down points. I went around to the right. I went around up with your guys to the right and went around that way. And I went around this way that I'm going to show you right now. And this is the way that I found to be most consistent. But I will say the enemies in this section they're a little bit random with their paths because they're in combat with your allies. And so they kind of Icarus dash around and move around sometimes. But this was the path that I found to be most consistent. I come over here to the left. I cloak to make sure no one sees me. And I move as far over to the left behind these pieces of cover as I can. I take the cloak off when I know that nobody's going to see me. And I do not put it on again until I feel like I'm in danger of getting spotted. I come over here, I wait for my cloak to recharge, and then I dash out and I hit the cloak when I notice that the bar is going a little bit yellow. And then I'm going to come over here and open the hatch. And that is the end of that mission. And you want to try to do that pretty quick, otherwise they might kill Sing. But hopefully you will get that after not too many tries. Like I said, sometimes they are a little bit random with their patterns, but that little path there was I found to be the most consistent in getting me through that without getting spotted. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.